perspective through sports. Please help me welcome Tibor Palatinus.
Hey. Hi. So through sports, or through the power of sports, I learned personally that life could be made better. You see, my work is convincing kids in high school or elementary school in some cases, across Canada, that there are better things to do than drugs. So I work in the drug prevention field, and I also help people who are looking for holistic rehabs across North America get into effective programs. The lesson that I learned in sports, by participating in sports, is that anybody could become better. Anyone can improve. By about 10 years old, I really fell in love with sports. You see, that was the one place that I could win and do well, and it got me out of the house. At house, things were boring. It was pretty dull. My brother was still beating me in fights. There was nothing much to do. He was bigger than me, stronger than me. And in sport, I was able to achieve and get better. That's not really the message that I wanted to impart, that it was just about me, because it really, what I discovered, it was about everyone. Everyone was getting better. And that was a really important lesson for me to learn, that through sports, I could improve. Through sport, life could become better. And through sports, life did get better. In sports, as different from at home, in sports, I felt alive. At home, nothing much happened. That's true for, I think, most kids. Nothing much happens in retrospect, but in sports, everything becomes alive. We catch up to this. In sports, we actually come up to the speed that we should be living at, which is fast. I grew up in the West End in Lord Roberts, and I went on to school in North Vancouver. I spent most of my years in North Vancouver, going to school in Carson Graham. Played a lot of rugby in Carson Graham. Played a lot of sports, track and field, basketball. That was my life, was being in sport. Through sports, I learned about sportsmanship, teamwork, and working hard to get to the next level. And I saw that people who were smaller than me, literally, could also improve and become better. And a little piece of trivia, I had an opportunity of playing rugby as an eighth man with my scrum half at the time, who went on to become a major player in the city. And he's the man who not only helped host our 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, but really made sure that that happened in the right way. So in Carson Graham, I was playing rugby with Gregor Robinson. He was my scrum half. Little did we know that this guy would become mayor of the city and play host to the biggest sporting event I think that Vancouver's ever seen, possibly ever will see, in terms of its worldwide capacity. So, in concluding, sports really taught me to live up to the challenge, that I could make it despite the challenge. And that, for me, is power sport. Linda.
How many people can say that they played rugby with Gregor Robertson and survived? Thanks, Tibor. Thanks for being the first one up here. That's great.